Powerful connections don't happen by chance. They're built with strategy, insight, and deliberate action. In this video, we break down the 10 ruthless laws of connecting with influential people, revealing how to position yourself for success and access opportunities few ever see. You'll learn actionable steps, real-world strategies, and mindset shifts that elevate your influence and make you truly unstoppable. Each chapter is designed to give you practical tools you can apply immediately. Watch closely, take notes, and transform your approach to networking. Subscribe now to unlock more powerful strategies and level up your life every day. Number 1. Build value before seeking access. In life, the most powerful people are surrounded by walls. Not walls of stone, but walls of time, attention, and trust. They are constantly approached by people seeking favors, opportunities, or validation, and they have learned to protect their energy fiercely. The first law of connecting with them is deceptively simple, but often ignored. Before you can enter their world, you must become someone whose presence is valuable. You must bring something meaningful to the table, something that matters not just to you but to them. Building value begins with understanding that access is not a gift. It is a privilege earned through merit. Powerful individuals do not give time freely to those who offer only noise, flattery, or empty promises. They are drawn to those who can make a measurable difference, who can enhance their vision, or who can provide insight that they do not already possess. To be one of those rare people who stands out, one must first become remarkable in their own right. This is not about self-promotion. It is about mastery, competence, and the ability to create impact. The process starts with deep self-awareness. Understanding your strengths, weaknesses, and unique abilities is essential. Powerful people are not impressed by claims. They are impressed by results. Before seeking access to someone influential, take stock of what you genuinely offer. Are you skilled in areas where they may need support? Do you have knowledge, expertise, or a perspective that can provide them with an advantage? This requires honest reflection and a commitment to personal growth. It is not enough to want access, one must prepare to earn it. Once you have identified your value, the next step is to refine and demonstrate it. Excellence attracts attention. If your work, ideas, or contributions are consistently high quality, they will naturally capture notice. Powerful people are constantly scanning for those who operate at levels beyond the ordinary. Being diligent, reliable, and innovative in your field creates a reputation that precedes you. Reputation is the currency of access. Without it, your requests for attention are empty gestures. Adding value also requires understanding what matters to the person you wish to connect with. It is not enough to be talented in general. Your skills must align with their priorities and challenges. This demands observation, research, and empathy. Powerful individuals are often focused on outcomes, efficiency, and influence. Consider what problems they are trying to solve, what opportunities they are pursuing, and what pressures they face. When you position yourself as someone who can address these specific areas, you move from being a passerby in their world to a contributor they cannot ignore. Practical application of this principle means taking initiative in ways that benefit others before asking for anything in return. Offer insights, solutions, or support without expectation. This is the essence of building genuine value. For example, if you admire a successful entrepreneur, study their work carefully and identify ways you could contribute. Perhaps you notice a gap in their marketing strategy, an inefficiency in their operations, or a potential collaboration they have overlooked. Presenting these observations thoughtfully demonstrates both competence and awareness, showing that you are not just seeking to gain, but to contribute meaningfully. Value can also be created through your network, knowledge, or creativity. Powerful people are surrounded by opportunities, but they often lack the time to uncover all of them. By connecting the right person, sharing insights from your own experiences, or offering innovative ideas, you increase your usefulness exponentially. Your goal is to become someone whose input changes the conversation, opens doors, or provides clarity. This is the form of value that makes you indispensable before you even meet them. Building value is also about consistency and resilience. One impressive act is not enough to gain lasting attention. Powerful individuals respect those who maintain high standards over time. This requires discipline, focus, and patience. It means continuously improving your skills, expanding your knowledge, and staying committed to delivering impact. The accumulation of small, meaningful contributions creates a reputation that is undeniable and magnetic. Persistence in adding value communicates reliability and seriousness, qualities that powerful people instinctively recognize and respect. Another key aspect is authenticity. Value must be genuine, not performative. Powerful people can detect insincerity quickly, and false gestures of help often backfire. To truly build value, align your actions with your capabilities and intentions. Offer what you can genuinely provide, and seek to improve where you fall short. Authentic value builds trust, and trust is the foundation upon which access is granted. Without trust, all efforts to connect remain superficial and fleeting. It is also important to understand the timing and method of delivering value. Strategic observation is crucial. Sometimes offering value too soon, too late, or in a poorly conceived way can diminish your effectiveness. Powerful people are busy and selective. Your contributions must be relevant, timely, and well presented. This requires thoughtfulness and patience. Consider how your input will be received, what context will make it meaningful, and how it aligns with their goals. Thoughtful timing amplifies impact. The mindset behind building value is equally critical. It is not about manipulation or expecting immediate returns. True value comes from a place of competence, generosity, and the desire to make a meaningful difference. When you internalize this perspective, connecting with powerful people becomes a natural extension of your own growth, rather than a transactional chase. Your focus shifts from how can I benefit to how can I contribute. This subtle shift transforms interactions and sets the stage for genuine, mutually beneficial relationships. In practical terms, start by becoming excellent at something that matters. Dedicate yourself to mastery in your field, cultivate skills that are rare or highly sought after, and solve problems that others cannot. Document your successes and use them to demonstrate credibility. Engage in projects or communities that allow you to create visible impact. Offer help to others in meaningful ways, even those outside your immediate network. Each act builds your reputation and positions you as a person of value. The power of this principle lies in its long-term effect. By focusing on building value first, you are not only preparing yourself for access to influential people, but you are simultaneously elevating your own life. Your skills, network, and reputation grow in the process. You develop the confidence, knowledge, and resilience that make you genuinely unstoppable. Access to powerful individuals is no longer a matter of luck. It becomes a natural consequence of the person you have become. In conclusion, building value before seeking access is a fundamental law that separates those who wait outside the gates from those who are invited in. It demands self-awareness, competence, strategic thinking, and authenticity. It requires patience, discipline, and a relentless commitment to excellence. By focusing on how you can contribute meaningfully through skill, insight, initiative, and genuine generosity, you become someone whose presence is sought after rather than requested. This approach transforms the pursuit of powerful connections from a desperate chase into a path of personal mastery and influence. In the end, those who provide real, undeniable value do not knock on doors. They are welcomed inside, not because of who they know, but because of who they have become. Every day, take steps to enhance your abilities, solve meaningful problems, and offer genuine contributions. This is the invisible work that powerful people notice, respect, and respond to. By committing to building value first, you are not only creating opportunities to connect with influential individuals, you are forging a life of competence, resilience, and unstoppable impact. Every action taken to build value strengthens your position, amplifies your reputation, and transforms your path from one of seeking approval to one of commanding influence. The journey begins quietly, often unnoticed by others, but the results are profound. When the moment comes to step into rooms where decisions are made, opportunities are abundant, and influence is concentrated, you will not enter as a stranger seeking favors. You will enter as a force of value, a person whose presence enriches the space, whose contributions matter, and whose impact is undeniable. Building value before seeking access is the first step toward mastering not only connections with powerful people, but also the art of becoming powerful in your own life. This principle, when applied consistently, is transformative. It reshapes how you are perceived, how doors open, and how influence flows toward you. Those who understand and practice this law live lives that are both self-empowered and magnetically connected to the people and opportunities that matter most. It is the foundation of every meaningful relationship with power and the starting point of a life defined by impact, discipline, and unstoppable growth. Number 2. Offer solutions, not mere presence. Being in the same room as powerful people does not automatically translate into influence, opportunity, or respect. Presence alone is invisible unless it brings tangible benefit. Simply showing up and hoping to be noticed is the path of the passive and unprepared. To truly connect with individuals who command influence, your approach must go beyond mere attendance. You must become a source of solutions. Offering solutions positions you as someone who adds immediate value, demonstrates foresight, and proves that your presence is not incidental but essential. Solutions are more than ideas. They are actionable, practical, and results-oriented. Powerful individuals are surrounded by challenges, decisions, and opportunities every day. They face problems that are complex, urgent, and often invisible to outsiders. Walking into their space with no contribution, no insight, and no actionable input is a waste of both your energy and theirs. The key is to observe, understand, and respond in ways that alleviate pressure, create opportunity, or spark innovation. Solutions transform your presence from passive to influential, from unnoticed to indispensable. Developing the ability to offer solutions begins with listening, observing the dynamics around you, paying attention to the obstacles others encounter, and understanding the priorities of influential people are critical steps. Listening is not passive, it is an active engagement with the world, where you identify gaps, inefficiencies, and areas where your input could create impact. This requires patience and attention to nuance. Powerful individuals often communicate their challenges indirectly through conversations, actions, or even frustration. By tuning in carefully, you can identify problems they may not even have explicitly acknowledged yet. Once you understand the challenges they face, the next step is to craft a solution that is thoughtful and precise. Powerful people are not impressed by generic advice or abstract suggestions. They seek ideas that can be implemented, scaled, or executed with measurable impact. The solution should be tailored, relevant, and grounded in reality. It should address the specific needs or goals of the person you are engaging with, rather than what seems convenient or easy for you. The ability to create solutions that matter requires both strategic thinking and empathy. You are solving problems, not for recognition, but because solving them creates value that cannot be ignored. Offering solutions also demands confidence and clarity. It is not enough to have a good idea, you must communicate it effectively. Powerful individuals are often pressed for time, and they respond to conciseness and clarity over long-winded explanations. Presenting your solutions with precision, supported by evidence or clear reasoning, establishes credibility. It shows that you have done the necessary homework, understand the context, and are capable of thinking critically. When you can articulate actionable solutions calmly and convincingly, you transition from being a passive participant to a trusted contributor. Practical application means identifying areas where your skills intersect with the needs of those you wish to influence. For example, if a senior executive is grappling with inefficiency in a team, offering a streamlined workflow, automation suggestions, or actionable delegation strategies demonstrates initiative and practical thinking. If a community leader is seeking growth in engagement or influence, providing a well-structured plan, data-driven insights, or creative approaches to expansion signals that you are solution-oriented. In each case, the focus is on tangible impact rather than empty presence. Offering solutions requires humility as much as competence. It is not about showing off intelligence or seeking validation. Powerful people value individuals who recognize the realities of their situation and contribute thoughtfully, without ego or arrogance. A solution offered with humility signals that you are invested in outcomes rather than self-promotion. It positions you as reliable, trustworthy, and cooperative, a person whose input enhances the work of others rather than creating friction or distraction. Humility combined with capability is a magnetic combination that attracts influence naturally. Another aspect of offering solutions is timing. Even the most brilliant solution can be wasted if presented at the wrong moment. Observing when a challenge is most pressing and when the recipient is receptive is critical. Strategic timing demonstrates emotional intelligence and situational awareness. It shows that you understand not only the problem, but also the context in which it exists. The ability to deliver solutions at the right time amplifies your impact and solidifies your presence as someone who contributes meaningfully. Consistency in providing solutions builds a reputation that powerful people notice and trust. One successful suggestion may get attention, but repeated contributions establish a pattern of reliability. Being known as someone who consistently identifies actionable solutions to real problems creates a magnetic presence. People naturally gravitate toward individuals who reduce complexity, offer clarity, and create opportunities. Over time, this reputation transcends individual interactions and positions you as an indispensable resource in any sphere you enter. Problem solving also requires creative thinking and adaptability. Powerful people encounter situations that are unique, fast-moving, and often ambiguous. Standard approaches rarely suffice. To offer solutions that resonate, you must think beyond conventional methods, connect disparate ideas, and anticipate outcomes. Flexibility and creativity in crafting solutions demonstrate cognitive agility, a trait that is highly valued in influential circles. Those who solve problems in ways that others cannot are remembered, sought after, and trusted with greater responsibility. Actionable insight is another key component. Every solution must translate into steps that can be executed. Powerful individuals are surrounded by ideas, but actionable insights are rare. Providing a solution with clear, practical next steps communicates competence and reduces the burden of implementation on them. It also shows that you understand the practical constraints and realities they face. This combination of vision and pragmatism creates an aura of effectiveness that cannot be ignored. Offering solutions also strengthens your personal growth. By continuously identifying problems and crafting responses, you refine your own skills, expand your knowledge, and sharpen your judgment. Each challenge you analyze, each problem you address, increases your ability to navigate complex situations with poise. The practice of being solution-oriented is itself transformative, enhancing your capacity to influence, lead, and create impact beyond the immediate interactions with powerful people. The mindset behind offering solutions is crucial. It is not about expectation or transactional gain. It is about contribution. When your focus is on making problems disappear, improving outcomes, or enhancing processes, you naturally cultivate influence. Powerful people sense sincerity and dedication to results. And this authenticity amplifies the effect of every solution you provide. It positions you as someone who contributes without seeking undue credit, but whose presence is undeniably valuable. In practical terms, start by observing environments where influence is concentrated. Identify recurring problems, inefficiencies, or unmet needs. Consider how your skills, insights, or experience can address these challenges. When opportunities arise, present your solutions with clarity, empathy, and a focus on measurable results. Avoid generic suggestions. Ensure that every recommendation is specific, actionable, and aligned with priorities. Over time, this approach builds trust, demonstrates competence, and positions you as a strategic contributor rather than a passive attendee. The long-term effect of offering solutions is profound. It creates a reputation that transcends individual interactions. People begin to associate you with problem-solving, initiative, and effectiveness. Doors that were once closed gradually open because your presence signals value rather than expectation. Influence flows toward those who consistently reduce challenges, provide insight, and create positive outcomes. Offering solutions transforms the dynamic from seeking approval to commanding respect. Ultimately, offering solutions rather than mere presence is about creating a life defined by impact. It is about developing the skills, mindset, and discipline that make you indispensable in any environment. Powerful individuals gravitate toward those who enhance their vision, reduce their burdens, and increase their chances of success. By adopting this principle, every interaction becomes an opportunity to contribute, learn, and grow. Presence alone will never create influence. Consistent, thoughtful, actionable solutions will. By committing to this practice, you cultivate a form of influence that is both sustainable and respected. You no longer wait for recognition. Your impact generates attention organically. Each solution you offer strengthens your position, reinforces your reputation, and expands your network of meaningful connections. Over time, this approach elevates your life, your opportunities, and your capacity to shape outcomes in every sphere you engage. Being solution-oriented is not just a strategy for connecting with powerful people. It is a path to mastering influence, competence, and meaningful success. Number 3. Target circles that elevate you. Surrounding yourself with the right people is one of the most powerful strategies for personal growth and influence. Every person you interact with carries energy, knowledge, habits, and access that shape the trajectory of your life. The company you keep can either lift you higher or hold you back in ways you may not immediately recognize. Those who aspire to connect with powerful people must first understand that influence is rarely earned in isolation. It flows naturally through the circles in which you participate. To connect with individuals of significance, you must position yourself within environments that elevate, challenge, and expand your capabilities. The concept of targeting circles that elevate you is grounded in the principle of proximity. People who achieve exceptional results operate within networks that reinforce ambition, discipline, and innovation. When you are consistently around those who think bigger, act with intention, and produce measurable outcomes, their mindset, energy, and habits begin to influence you. This is not merely about imitation, it is about absorption of higher-level thinking and the cultivation of a mindset aligned with achievement. Those who remain in stagnant or negative environments limit their potential without realizing it. Elevation occurs when you intentionally place yourself in circles where growth is the norm and mediocrity is uncommon. To identify these circles, first examine the spheres where excellence is visible and valued. This may be industry-specific professional networks, entrepreneurial communities, mentorship groups, or even informal gatherings of high-achieving individuals. The key is to recognize environments where knowledge, influence, and opportunities are concentrated. Being present in these spaces is not enough. Active engagement is essential. Participate, contribute, and immerse yourself in ways that allow you to learn, demonstrate competence, and establish meaningful relationships. Visibility in the right circles accelerates access to people who can amplify your impact. Strategic selection of circles requires discernment. Not all communities labeled successful or influential provide genuine opportunities for growth. Some groups may be filled with distractions, false bravado, or unproductive competition. Elevating circles are characterized by shared values of discipline, ambition, and action. The individuals in these circles respect effort, initiative, and results. They challenge each other intellectually and hold one another accountable for outcomes. Aligning yourself with these circles positions you in environments where you are not merely tolerated, but inspired to become a better version of yourself. Immersion in elevating circles also provides access to knowledge and perspective that cannot be gained through books, courses, or online research alone. Conversations, debates, and collaborations within these environments expose you to ideas, strategies, and approaches that shape high-level thinking. You begin to see patterns others overlook, anticipate challenges before they arise, and identify opportunities that are invisible outside the network. In essence, your capacity to solve problems and contribute meaningfully grows exponentially when you are consistently exposed to people operating at a higher standard. Practical engagement means contributing to the value of the circle while simultaneously learning from it. Elevating circles function on a principle of mutual benefit. Those who engage meaningfully gain insight, access, and influence, while also adding depth and competence to the group. Passive membership is insufficient. Attend meetings, workshops, and events actively. Share your observations, insights, and solutions. Volunteer for projects that allow you to demonstrate your skills. By being a source of value within these circles, you naturally attract attention from influential members, which gradually positions you as someone whose presence is both recognized and sought after. Elevation also involves intentional distancing from circles that stagnate or diminish your potential. Time is finite, and energy spent in unproductive environments reduces your capacity to excel elsewhere. People who complain, resist growth, or celebrate mediocrity may feel like temporary allies, but in reality, they limit your mindset and ambitions. Recognizing when a circle no longer serves your growth and having the discipline to step away is essential. The courage to detach from familiar but unproductive groups opens space for relationships that inspire, challenge, and elevate. Another critical factor is authenticity. Elevating circles respect individuals who engage with genuine curiosity, integrity, and purpose. Attempting to insert yourself purely for self-interest, flattery, or networking convenience is transparent. Powerful individuals and ambitious peers value sincerity and substance over appearances. To thrive in such circles, contribute honestly, offer insight where appropriate, and maintain a consistent presence aligned with your capabilities. Authentic engagement strengthens your credibility and ensures that your participation is both impactful and respected. Targeting elevating circles also requires adaptability. These groups often consist of people with diverse experiences, perspectives, and approaches. Learning to navigate different personalities, reconcile conflicting viewpoints, and communicate effectively in high-level discussions is crucial. Adaptability allows you to integrate seamlessly while contributing meaningfully, building relationships that are mutually beneficial rather than transactional. The ability to adjust without compromising your values or capabilities is a hallmark of individuals who can rise within influential networks. Long-term impact of engaging in elevating circles cannot be overstated. Relationships formed in these environments provide access to knowledge, mentorship, partnerships, and opportunities that are rarely available elsewhere. When you consistently demonstrate competence, reliability, and initiative, your reputation within these networks grows. People begin to recognize you as someone who enhances the circle rather than merely consumes it. Influence flows naturally toward those who are seen as contributors, connectors, and problem solvers. The right circles act as catalysts, accelerating both personal growth and access to power. Practical steps to target elevating circles include research, observation, and persistence. Identify where individuals you admire, respect, or wish to learn from. Spend their time. Attend conferences, seminars, and networking events with purpose. Engage in communities online and offline that emphasize skill, impact, and results. Seek mentorship or apprenticeship opportunities that provide close access to high performers. These steps require initiative and consistency, but the rewards are profound. You gain exposure, knowledge, and relationships that shape your trajectory in ways that isolated effort rarely achieves. Equally important is contributing uniquely to these circles. Influence grows fastest when you provide insight, solutions, or value that others cannot easily replicate. This may come from your professional expertise, creative thinking, or strategic understanding of complex problems. Powerful individuals notice and remember those who enhance their environment through unique contributions. By consistently demonstrating your ability to solve problems, offer perspectives, and elevate discussions, you establish a reputation that attracts attention, trust, and opportunity. The mindset required to thrive in elevating circles is one of growth, resilience, and proactive engagement. It involves prioritizing environments where learning is constant, excellence is expected, and relationships are meaningful. Elevation is not passive. It is the deliberate pursuit of associations that challenge you to expand your capabilities, broaden your vision, and refine your execution. Individuals who adopt this approach experience accelerated personal development, increased access to influential networks, and an ability to navigate complex social and professional ecosystems with confidence. In essence, targeting circles that elevate you is both a strategic and transformative approach. It positions you where high-level thinking, opportunity, and influence converge. By immersing yourself in these environments, contributing meaningfully, maintaining authenticity, and practicing discipline, you accelerate your growth while naturally attracting the attention of powerful individuals. Over time, the circles you engage with become a reflection of your aspirations, skill set, and trajectory, creating a network that consistently lifts you toward your highest potential. Commitment to this principle transforms not only your ability to connect with influential people, but also your personal development. Elevating circles cultivate resilience, sharpen judgment, and foster creativity. They expose you to standards that push you beyond comfort, reinforcing habits of excellence and focus. By deliberately choosing associations that inspire and challenge, you create a life where growth, opportunity, and influence are natural byproducts. Those who master the art of strategic alignment with elevating circles do not chase power, they are surrounded by it, positioned in environments that amplify their potential, and consistently moving towards success that is both meaningful and sustainable. Number 4. Leverage introductions through allies. Connections are rarely formed in isolation. Influence, access, and opportunity flow through relationships, often passed from one person to another in chains of trust. The most effective way to connect with powerful people is not to approach them cold or without context, but to leverage introductions through allies. These allies serve as bridges, carrying credibility, trust, and a form of social validation that cannot be achieved alone. Learning to navigate and utilize these pathways is an essential skill for anyone seeking meaningful influence. An introduction from a respected ally transforms your approach from a request into an invitation. When a mutual connection vouches for you, you inherit a portion of their credibility. Powerful individuals are naturally cautious about the people they allow into their inner circle. Cold approaches are often met with skepticism, dismissal, or minimal engagement. An ally's endorsement, however, signals that someone they trust has deemed you worthy of consideration. This drastically increases the likelihood that your presence will be taken seriously and that meaningful dialogue will follow. The first step is identifying potential allies whose judgment, reputation, and influence align with your goals. Allies are not merely people with connections. They are individuals who understand your value, respect your capabilities, and are willing to advocate on your behalf. These relationships must be nurtured with care and authenticity. Providing value to your allies is critical. They are far more likely to facilitate introductions if they see you as competent, reliable, and generous with your own resources. Relationships built on reciprocity and trust form the strongest foundation for meaningful access. To effectively leverage allies, it is necessary to cultivate relationships deliberately rather than opportunistically. Trust and credibility cannot be forced. Start by identifying individuals whose networks intersect with the spheres of influence you wish to enter. Invest time in understanding their priorities, offering assistance, and demonstrating capability. By contributing to their objectives and demonstrating alignment in values or expertise, you position yourself as someone whose endorsement they would be proud to give. Allies are more than intermediaries. They are partners in your journey toward influence. When seeking an introduction, timing and context are crucial. A casual, poorly framed request will rarely yield results. Instead, present your request thoughtfully, demonstrating clarity in purpose and an understanding of both the ally and the target individual. Explain how the connection could create mutual benefit, emphasizing relevance rather than entitlement. A strategic approach ensures that your request respects the time and discretion of the ally, while increasing the likelihood of a meaningful and favorable introduction. Offering reciprocal value strengthens the dynamic with allies. People are naturally inclined to support those who enhance their own influence, reputation, or objectives. By consistently providing insights, solutions, or opportunities that benefit your allies, you deepen trust and reinforce your relevance. This creates a relationship where introductions are a natural extension of mutual respect and collaboration rather than a one-sided favor. Allies who see tangible benefits in supporting you become enthusiastic conduits for your connections. Equally important is the precision of the introduction itself. A powerful introduction is not simply a name exchange. It is framing your capabilities, credibility, and value in a context that resonates with the person you are being introduced to. Allies who understand your strengths and understand the priorities of the target can craft introductions that highlight alignment, impact, and relevance. A carefully framed introduction dramatically increases the chance of engagement, as it situates you as someone worth attention rather than a random applicant for consideration. Leveraging allies also requires patience and respect. Relationships take time to develop, and rushing the process can undermine trust. Allies are more willing to facilitate introductions when they perceive a genuine, sustained commitment to growth, competence and contribution. Demonstrating patience shows maturity and reinforces that you value the relationship over immediate gain. Powerful connections often take months or even years to cultivate effectively, and allies are key navigators in this timeline. The strategic use of allies also involves understanding their networks. Influential individuals often operate within interconnected circles. A single ally may serve as a gateway to multiple layers of influence, providing access to opportunities that would otherwise remain hidden. By mapping relationships, observing dynamics, and engaging thoughtfully, you can maximize the potential of each ally. This strategic approach transforms introductions from isolated gestures into a network effect, exponentially increasing both your visibility and credibility. Allies also play a crucial role in bridging cultural, social, or professional gaps. High-level environments often have unwritten rules, expectations, and norms that can be challenging to navigate alone. Allies provide insight into these subtleties, helping you present yourself in ways that align with the culture, values, and expectations of powerful individuals. Their guidance ensures that your initial interactions create a favorable impression and reduce the likelihood of missteps that could limit future access. Practical application begins with cultivating a diverse set of allies across different domains. Seek mentors, collaborators, and peers who respect your abilities and whose networks intersect with your objectives. Invest time in understanding their challenges, contributing to their success, and demonstrating reliability. When the time comes to request an introduction, frame it with clarity, relevance, and respect for the ally's judgment. A thoughtful approach ensures that your access is meaningful and welcomed, rather than intrusive or awkward. In parallel, focus on demonstrating your value in every interaction. Allies will be far more enthusiastic about facilitating introductions when they can confidently represent your competence and integrity. Deliver results consistently, act with integrity, and maintain professionalism. This approach ensures that every introduction carries weight, as your ally's reputation is partially invested in vouching for you. Building a track record of dependability and contribution strengthens not only your credibility, but also the willingness of others to open doors on your behalf. Leveraging allies is also about strategic selection. Not all relationships will facilitate meaningful introductions, and not all networks align with your goals. Prioritize alliances that provide access to environments where influence, growth, and opportunity are concentrated. Engage deeply with these individuals, offering value and demonstrating alignment with their objectives. Focused investment in high-impact relationships amplifies your access and accelerates the realization of your goals, ensuring that your time and energy yield measurable results. The long-term effect of leveraging introductions through allies is transformative. Over time, your network evolves into a conduit for influence, opportunity, and learning. Each successful introduction enhances your reputation and opens additional doors, creating a compounding effect. Powerful people begin to recognize you not just for your own accomplishments, but for the credibility you carry from respected allies. This establishes a foundation of trust and influence that extends far beyond individual encounters. Ultimately, leveraging allies is about creating relationships that are mutually beneficial, respectful, and strategic. It requires thoughtfulness, patience, and sustained effort. By investing in allies, providing value, and approaching introductions with clarity and purpose, you position yourself as someone whose presence is meaningful, trusted, and impactful. These connections are not shortcuts. They are bridges built on competence, trust, and strategic alignment. Through this approach, access to powerful individuals becomes not a matter of luck, but a natural consequence of the relationships you cultivate and the value you consistently provide. By mastering the art of leveraging allies, you transform the way influence flows toward you. You move from cold outreach to warm introductions, from uncertainty to strategic alignment, and from isolation to a network that amplifies your growth. This approach ensures that every interaction is purposeful, every connection carries credibility, and every opportunity is maximized. Strategic relationships with allies are the foundation upon which meaningful access to power, influence, and success is built. Number 5. Show competence without ego displays. True influence is rarely won through bravado, loud assertions, or the need to dominate every conversation. Powerful individuals are naturally drawn to those who demonstrate capability quietly and effectively, without the distraction of ego. Competence without ego is a subtle form of authority. It commands respect not through force or self-promotion, but through consistent performance, clarity of thought, and the ability to deliver results under pressure. Mastering this balance is essential for anyone seeking to connect meaningfully with those who hold real power. Competence is visible in action, not proclamation. People who achieve at the highest levels understand the difference between talking about abilities and proving them. They recognize results, skill, and problem-solving aptitude instantly. Demonstrating competence without ego requires focusing on the work itself rather than the accolades it might bring. It is about letting your achievements speak, maintaining humility while consistently producing quality outcomes. In this way, your presence communicates reliability and expertise without ever needing to force attention. To embody this principle, start by developing mastery in areas where your expertise can be visibly applied. This requires deliberate practice, attention to detail, and continuous learning. Excellence becomes evident through consistency. The repeated demonstration of skill and knowledge builds credibility organically. Powerful people are naturally drawn to those whose abilities reduce their burden, enhance their objectives, or open new avenues of opportunity. Ego-driven displays, by contrast, often create friction, mistrust, or distraction. True competence is measured by the impact you create, not the noise you generate. A critical element is humility. Being competent without ego means recognizing that every situation, no matter how high profile or significant, is an opportunity to serve and contribute rather than dominate. Humility allows you to collaborate effectively, receive feedback without defensiveness, and adapt to challenges without fear of losing face. Powerful people respect individuals who can operate with confidence while remaining grounded, as this signals maturity, resilience, and emotional intelligence, qualities that far outweigh superficial self-assurance. Observation is key to displaying competence subtly. Powerful individuals often evaluate talent, not by self-promotion, but by watching how people respond under pressure, solve problems, and interact with others. Your capacity to assess situations, identify critical factors, and provide meaningful input quietly creates a perception of reliability and authority. This requires active listening, situational awareness, and a focus on substance over style. The ability to navigate complex dynamics calmly and competently draws attention naturally, without the need for exaggerated self-expression. Competence without ego also requires selective communication. Sharing insights, ideas, or suggestions should be done thoughtfully, framed to contribute rather than to showcase intelligence. Avoid interrupting, correcting unnecessarily, or dominating discussions. Powerful individuals are attuned to the difference between someone adding value and someone seeking validation. Clear, precise contributions that solve problems or clarify thinking are far more impactful than constant assertions of knowledge or superiority. The most influential people respect those whose input improves outcomes without creating tension or distraction. Practical application means consistently producing results that are observable and relevant. If you are part of a team, focus on delivering work that advances objectives efficiently and effectively. In professional or social circles, demonstrate reliability through follow-through and execution. In situations where your expertise is required, provide insight and solutions that align with the context and goals of those around you. Each action reinforces competence, builds trust, and reduces the need for self-promotion, making your influence felt organically. Emotional intelligence is another vital component. Competence without ego is inseparable from the ability to manage relationships with tact, awareness, and empathy. Recognize the feelings, motivations, and priorities of those you interact with, and adjust your approach accordingly. Powerful individuals notice how others handle conflict, give credit, and navigate interpersonal dynamics. Demonstrating grace, composure, and fairness amplifies the perception of competence, as it signals that you can perform under pressure while maintaining collaborative and respectful interactions. An often overlooked aspect of this principle is restraint. Avoid taking unnecessary credit, dominating conversations, or using competence as a tool for self-aggrandizement. Powerful people are drawn to those who enhance their goals rather than compete for attention. By restraining ego and focusing on impact, you create an aura of professionalism and trustworthiness. Your value becomes apparent through outcomes and behavior rather than loud claims, making your presence magnetic and your influence durable. Competence without ego also fosters long-term relationships built on respect and trust. When others know they can rely on your skill, judgment, and discretion, you become a trusted collaborator rather than a temporary performer. Trust is fragile, and ego-driven behavior often undermines it. By consistently showing capability while remaining humble, you cultivate a reputation that precedes you, opening doors to opportunities, mentorship, and access that would be difficult to achieve through self-promotion alone. The mindset behind this approach is disciplined focus. Your energy should be directed toward growth, skill building, and delivering meaningful results rather than seeking validation or recognition. When competence is the priority and ego is restrained, influence becomes a byproduct of consistent excellence. Every interaction, every project, and every challenge becomes a chance to demonstrate mastery and reliability. Powerful individuals notice those who operate in this way and are naturally drawn to collaborate, advise, and include them in strategic initiatives. Practical steps to implement this principle include setting measurable goals for skill development, seeking feedback from trusted mentors, and deliberately observing situations where your contribution can make a difference. Apply yourself fully, measure impact, and avoid the temptation to overstate your abilities. Focus on clarity, precision, and effectiveness in all communication and action. Over time, these habits reinforce a reputation of quiet competence that stands out in high-level environments, where ego-driven behavior is commonplace and often counterproductive. Another key aspect is resilience. Competence without ego does not mean avoiding challenges or criticism. It means responding effectively and constructively. Powerful individuals respect those who maintain composure under pressure, analyze setbacks objectively, and take corrective action without defensiveness. Your ability to navigate adversity with poise enhances your perceived reliability and capability, signaling that you can handle complex situations without disrupting the flow or imposing personal agendas. In conclusion, showing competence without ego is a nuanced skill that blends mastery, humility, emotional intelligence, and strategic communication. It positions you as a person of impact, reliability, and influence, someone whose presence naturally elevates the environment rather than distracts from it. Powerful individuals respond to substance over style, outcomes over self-promotion, and insight over empty assertion. By focusing on consistent results, thoughtful contributions, and measured interactions, you cultivate authority, trust, and access without ever needing to demand recognition. Adopting this approach transforms the way you are perceived, the quality of your relationships, and the trajectory of your opportunities. It allows you to move confidently among influential circles, contribute meaningfully, and leave a lasting impression through capability rather than display. Competence without ego becomes a form of silent magnetism, drawing the attention and respect of powerful individuals while reinforcing your own growth, resilience, and long-term potential. Each action taken under this principle strengthens your reputation, expands your influence, and ensures that your presence is recognized for its true value: skill, insight, and the ability to deliver meaningful results without distraction or pretense. Number 6. Demonstrate rare skills they need. The world of influence operates on scarcity. Powerful people are constantly seeking ways to solve unique problems, navigate complex challenges, and maintain an edge that others cannot easily replicate. They do not value general competence alone. They seek individuals who bring rare, specialized skills that are difficult to find and even harder to replace. Demonstrating these rare abilities is not about showing off. It is about aligning what you offer with needs that are urgent, high stakes, or uniquely positioned to create impact. Those who can provide skills others lack instantly become indispensable. The first step is identifying what skills are truly rare and relevant. Rarity is defined not by how few people know a skill in absolute terms, but by how few people can apply it effectively in high-impact situations. For example, knowledge of a tool, strategy, or system is valuable, but when combined with the ability to execute under pressure, think creatively, or solve unprecedented problems, it becomes exceptional. Powerful individuals are not impressed by potential alone. They are influenced by tangible, actionable capabilities that produce results where others cannot. Developing rare skills requires deliberate focus and persistence. General competence is insufficient. Mastery emerges from sustained effort over time. This often involves learning beyond conventional pathways, experimenting with untested approaches, and applying knowledge in ways that others cannot replicate easily. The process is rigorous and demands patience, resilience, and a willingness to endure challenges that many avoid. By cultivating abilities that are not only specialized, but also applicable in meaningful contexts, you create a form of leverage that naturally draws attention and respect from influential people. Observation is critical in determining which rare skills are needed. Powerful individuals often operate in specialized domains with unique challenges, pressures, and opportunities. By studying their priorities, processes, and pain points, you can identify gaps where your capabilities would provide disproportionate value. This requires careful attention, active listening, and the ability to synthesize complex information. The more accurately you can anticipate the skills they need but cannot easily access, the more indispensable you become. Demonstrating rare skills also involves context. Having an ability is one thing. Applying it effectively in high-stakes situations is another. Powerful people respect individuals who can translate knowledge into meaningful action. This may mean solving a problem under tight deadlines, providing insight that changes strategic decisions, or executing a task with precision that others cannot achieve. The visible impact of your skill reinforces its value and cements your position as someone who is not only capable but also irreplaceable. Practical application begins with showcasing these abilities in ways that are relevant and measurable. Consider the challenges facing the person or organization you aim to connect with. Frame your skill in a context that directly addresses their goals, pressures, or objectives. Provide examples, demonstrations, or outcomes that illustrate your capability. Rare skills are most compelling when their effect is visible and undeniable. The ability to solve a critical problem, improve efficiency, or unlock opportunity demonstrates immediate value and establishes trust. Humility enhances the effectiveness of demonstrating rare skills. Exceptional ability combined with arrogance often repels rather than attracts. Powerful people are drawn to those who contribute quietly but decisively. Communicating competence without self-aggrandizement signals confidence grounded in reality. It also ensures that your skills are recognized for their impact rather than overshadowed by ego. The balance of capability and humility amplifies influence, as others perceive your contributions as authentic, reliable, and high value. Consistency is a key factor. Rare skills are reinforced through repeated, dependable application. Occasional brilliance is memorable, but sustained performance builds reputation and trust. By consistently delivering outcomes that others cannot, you establish a track record that powerful individuals notice and respect. Reliability combined with rarity transforms your skill set from a temporary advantage into a lasting asset. Those who can be counted on repeatedly for high-value contributions become natural partners and advisors. Strategic alignment is also essential. Demonstrating rare skills is not about showing off talent randomly. It is about applying them where they meet specific needs. Powerful individuals prioritize results and impact. Skills must be applied to challenges, opportunities, or projects that are meaningful to them. Misalignment, even with impressive abilities, reduces perceived value. Understanding context, priorities, and timing ensures that your rare skills are not only visible, but also directly relevant to high-stakes outcomes. Network amplifies the perception of rare skills. When others recognize your unique capabilities, they become advocates for your inclusion in influential circles. Allies and collaborators often act as conduits, highlighting your abilities to decision-makers who need them most. Demonstrating rare skills in environments where influential people are present enhances visibility, credibility, and opportunities for strategic engagement. The combination of rarity, relevance, and recognition increases both your access and your impact exponentially. Problem-solving is a natural extension of rare skills. Powerful people face challenges that are often complex, multifaceted, and unprecedented. Those who can analyze situations, devise solutions, and implement them effectively become essential contributors. Rare skills gain value when paired with critical thinking, creativity, and execution. The ability to navigate ambiguity, address obstacles, and produce outcomes positions you as a problem solver whose expertise is not easily replaced, thereby solidifying your influence and presence in high-level environments. The mindset required to leverage rare skills is disciplined, proactive, and service-oriented. Focus on mastery, anticipate needs before they are articulated, and approach challenges with a solution-first mentality. Powerful individuals respond to those who see opportunities, act decisively, and reduce friction or risk. By internalizing this approach, you create a reputation for foresight, reliability, and unmatched capability, qualities that foster trust, respect, and opportunity over time. Practical steps include identifying a gap or need, developing a skill that addresses it, and applying it in ways that demonstrate measurable impact. Seek feedback to refine your approach, adapt to changing circumstances, and ensure your contributions remain relevant. Document successes to illustrate effectiveness without boastfulness, and consistently align your abilities with the priorities of those you wish to influence. Over time, this practice builds a portfolio of rare skills that are recognized, trusted, and sought after in environments where influence and opportunity converge. Long-term benefits of demonstrating rare skills extend beyond immediate access. They establish your reputation as a person of unique capability, creating lasting opportunities for mentorship, collaboration, and leadership. Powerful people naturally gravitate toward those who fill gaps others cannot, as this reduces risk, enhances efficiency, and amplifies results. Rarity becomes a form of leverage, ensuring that your presence is valued, your contributions are respected, and your opportunities continue to grow. Ultimately, demonstrating rare skills is about combining mastery, relevance, and execution in ways that are difficult to replicate. It requires foresight, continuous learning, and strategic application. When your abilities meet needs that are urgent, complex, or unique, you move from being a participant to a contributor whose presence is indispensable. Those who consistently cultivate and apply rare skills position themselves not only for access to powerful individuals, but also for sustained influence, long-term impact, and opportunities that few others can achieve. By investing in skills that are uncommon yet highly relevant, applying them thoughtfully, and delivering results with humility and consistency, you ensure that your value is clear, undeniable, and lasting. This approach transforms interactions from fleeting introductions into enduring partnerships, as powerful individuals recognize and rely on the capabilities that you bring to the table. In this way, rarity of skill becomes a strategic tool for influence, opportunity, and personal growth, shaping a path that leads directly to environments where power, impact, and recognition converge. Number 7. Follow up with strategic consistency. Connections with powerful people are rarely formed in a single encounter. The initial meeting is only the first step. What determines whether a relationship grows into influence and opportunity is the follow-up. Following up strategically with thoughtfulness and consistency distinguishes those who fade into the background from those who become trusted allies and collaborators. This principle is about more than persistence. It is about reinforcing your value, demonstrating reliability, and creating a presence that is remembered without being intrusive or overwhelming. Strategic follow-up begins with clarity of purpose. Every interaction should have a defined objective, whether it is sharing insight, providing additional value, or maintaining awareness of shared priorities. Powerful individuals are busy and surrounded by competing demands. Random or unfocused follow-ups are likely to be ignored. To be effective, your communications must demonstrate relevance, timing, and consideration. The goal is not simply to be remembered, but to create a meaningful impression that builds trust and positions you as a reliable contributor. Consistency amplifies impact. Sporadic follow-up may be noticed once, but it does not establish credibility. Strategic consistency signals that you are disciplined, committed, and attentive. Powerful people respect individuals who can manage their own engagement thoughtfully over time, maintaining presence without demanding attention. This is not about excessive messaging or relentless reminders. It is about regular, purposeful touchpoints that reinforce your relevance, contribution, and alignment with the priorities of those you wish to connect with. The content of your follow-up is crucial. It should always provide value, insight, or actionable information rather than simply reminding someone of your existence. Sending updates, sharing resources, offering solutions, or providing thoughtful observations demonstrates that your interactions are not self-serving, but contribute meaningfully to their objectives. Strategic follow-up communicates awareness, initiative, and competence, while simultaneously strengthening the perception of reliability and trustworthiness. Every touchpoint becomes an opportunity to deepen the relationship. Timing is a critical aspect of follow-up. Too soon, and it may appear pushy. Too late, and the initial connection loses momentum. Powerful individuals are often managing multiple priorities, and understanding when your engagement is most relevant can make the difference between being noticed and being overlooked. Observing patterns, anticipating needs, and aligning your follow-up with the rhythm of their work or interests demonstrates situational awareness and enhances the perceived value of your engagement. Practical execution begins with tracking interactions. Note what was discussed, what commitments were made, and what topics were of interest. Reference these details thoughtfully in follow-ups to show attentiveness and respect. For example, if a conversation touched on a specific challenge, providing a related solution, resource, or observation at a later date communicates both competence and care. These personalized touchpoints elevate your interactions above generic follow-ups and strengthen the perception that you are an engaged, reliable, and capable individual. Consistency also builds familiarity, which fosters trust. Powerful people are naturally cautious about whom they allow into their circle. Repeated, purposeful engagement demonstrates that you are dependable and serious about contributing meaningfully. Trust is cultivated through predictable, thoughtful behavior over time, and follow-up is one of the most effective ways to reinforce this perception. When your engagement is consistent, it signals reliability without the need for overt self-promotion. Strategic follow-up involves balancing persistence with patience. Aggressive repetition can create resistance, while too little engagement risks invisibility. The key is to approach each touchpoint with intent. Every message, call, or meeting should enhance value, offer insight, or move a shared objective forward. Thoughtful pacing ensures that you remain present in the mind of the powerful individual without creating fatigue or distraction. Mastering this balance is both an art and a discipline, requiring observation, judgment, and adaptability. Another important consideration is authenticity. Follow-ups are most effective when genuine, reflecting real interest, respect, and alignment with shared goals. Superficial or formulaic engagement is easily detected and often counterproductive. Authentic follow-up conveys that your interest in connecting is grounded in meaningful contribution, not self-interest or obligation. Powerful individuals are drawn to those who operate with sincerity and purpose, and your consistency becomes a reflection of your character, not just your strategy. The medium of follow-up should also be chosen thoughtfully. Different individuals have different communication preferences, and adapting to these increases effectiveness. Some may prefer concise emails, others brief calls, or occasional in-person touchpoints. Observing and aligning with these preferences demonstrates attention to detail and respect for their time. The ability to adapt communication style while maintaining consistency enhances the perception of professionalism and emotional intelligence, both of which are critical in influential circles. Strategic follow-up is not limited to reactive engagement. Anticipating needs before they are expressed is a hallmark of high-value contribution. When you provide insights, resources, or solutions proactively, you establish yourself as someone who thinks ahead and adds value without prompting. This proactive approach reinforces competence, reliability, and initiative, increasing your influence while minimizing the need for explicit requests or permissions. Powerful people naturally gravitate toward those who anticipate challenges and create solutions before they become urgent. Long-term follow-up nurtures relationships that extend beyond transactional exchanges. It allows you to remain connected, demonstrate sustained value, and create opportunities for collaboration over time. Powerful individuals are more likely to invest attention and resources in those whose presence is consistent, thoughtful, and aligned with their goals. Each follow-up builds upon the last, gradually solidifying your reputation as a trusted, reliable, and strategic partner. Practical steps for strategic follow-up include documenting every interaction, identifying relevant opportunities to add value, and scheduling touchpoints that maintain awareness without becoming intrusive. Tailor each engagement to context, relevance, and observed priorities. Offer insights, resources, or assistance that demonstrate thoughtfulness and competence. Evaluate the impact of each touchpoint and adjust timing, frequency, or content to enhance effectiveness. By approaching follow-up with intentionality, you transform simple communication into a powerful tool for influence and trust building. Consistency in follow-up also reinforces professional discipline. It demonstrates that you can manage commitments, respect time frames, and operate with deliberate purpose. Powerful people respect individuals who exhibit organization, foresight, and reliability, as these traits reduce uncertainty and risk. Strategic follow-up showcases these qualities subtly yet powerfully, creating a perception of competence and control that extends beyond the immediate interaction. Mindset is central to this principle. Follow-up should not be motivated by desperation or the desire for immediate return, but by a genuine commitment to contribute, engage, and create meaningful connection. Approach every interaction as an opportunity to reinforce value, demonstrate reliability, and maintain awareness of shared priorities. This mindset ensures that each follow-up enhances relationships, positions you as indispensable, and naturally leads to opportunities for collaboration, guidance, and influence. Ultimately, following up with strategic consistency transforms the way you are perceived, the quality of your relationships, and your ability to access high-level opportunities. It ensures that your presence is remembered, your value is reinforced, and your reliability is evident. Those who master this practice create enduring connections that grow over time, opening doors that are rarely accessible through chance encounters alone. By committing to deliberate, thoughtful, and consistent follow-up, you move from being a fleeting acquaintance to a trusted partner whose influence and access expand naturally, sustainably, and powerfully. Number 8. Study incentives before approaching them. Every powerful individual operates within a complex web of motivations, goals, and priorities. Attempting to connect without understanding what drives them is like navigating unfamiliar terrain, blindfolded. Influence is rarely granted simply because someone is competent or likable. It flows naturally toward those who align with the needs, desires, and incentives of those in positions of power. Studying these incentives before making an approach transforms a hopeful encounter into a strategically informed connection that maximizes impact and opens doors with precision. Incentives are rarely superficial. While financial gain, professional recognition, or status may appear obvious, deeper motivations often dictate behavior. These can include a desire for legacy, problem-solving, innovation, social influence, or the achievement of a specific mission. The key is to uncover what truly matters to the individual or organization you aim to connect with. Surface-level assumptions rarely suffice. Observing patterns, analyzing decisions, and listening carefully to priorities reveals the driving forces that influence choices and opportunities. Understanding incentives requires research and active observation. Study their projects, public statements, business moves, or philanthropic initiatives. Examine how they allocate time, resources, and attention. Every decision reflects underlying priorities. Powerful people are constantly balancing multiple objectives, recognizing which ones are most urgent, high value, or personally significant, allows you to tailor your approach. When your proposal, presence, or contribution aligns with these motivations, it becomes far more compelling and relevant. The most effective approaches are framed around providing value that matches these incentives. People in positions of influence are inundated with requests, opportunities, and ideas. A generic pitch or offer will be dismissed. By demonstrating that you understand their priorities and offering a solution, insight, or support that advances their goals, you position yourself as a strategic contributor rather than a peripheral observer. Aligning with incentives transforms interactions from transactional to mutually beneficial, creating a foundation for trust and ongoing engagement. Anticipating incentives before engagement also demonstrates foresight and professionalism. Powerful individuals recognize and respond to those who can anticipate challenges, opportunities, or needs without being prompted. By presenting ideas or support that directly addresses incentives, you position yourself as someone who is observant, competent, and aligned with their objectives. This proactive approach is far more effective than reactive attempts at connection, as it signals strategic thinking and the ability to operate within their framework. Practical application begins with mapping priorities. Identify what drives decisions, what challenges require solutions, and what outcomes carry the most significance. Translate these insights into actionable engagement strategies. When approaching, articulate how your skills, knowledge, or perspective can directly advance these objectives. Avoid generic flattery or vague propositions. Precision and relevance are essential. The ability to communicate alignment with incentives quickly and convincingly determines whether your presence is valued or overlooked. Studying incentives also reduces friction and missteps. Powerful people are sensitive to wasted time, misaligned agendas, or irrelevant input. Approaching without understanding their priorities often results in dismissal or disengagement. By investing effort in understanding incentives beforehand, you reduce risk, enhance receptivity, and maximize the effectiveness of your interaction. Preparation conveys respect, intelligence, and strategic awareness, qualities that are immediately recognized and appreciated. Effective engagement requires framing contributions in terms of mutual benefit. Powerful individuals are drawn to solutions that advance their goals while leveraging your expertise or capabilities. Demonstrating awareness of their incentives allows you to position your involvement as complementary rather than intrusive. This approach reduces resistance and enhances openness, as your engagement is perceived as a resource that creates leverage rather than competition. Aligning interests creates a natural pathway to influence, collaboration, and access. Strategic observation also reveals hidden incentives. Not all motivations are overt or explicitly stated. Subtle cues, patterns of decision-making, and unspoken priorities often guide behavior more strongly than visible factors. Attentive observation, coupled with analysis of past choices and outcomes, allows you to uncover these underlying drivers. By tailoring your approach to align with both explicit and implicit incentives, you create interactions that are deeply resonant and difficult to ignore. Consistency in demonstrating alignment reinforces trust. Initial alignment with incentives may open a door, but ongoing reinforcement ensures continued relevance. Every engagement should reaffirm that you understand and contribute toward the priorities of the powerful individual. Providing insight, solutions, or support over time demonstrates that your alignment is genuine, not opportunistic. This sustained engagement fosters credibility, establishes reliability, and solidifies your position as someone who enhances outcomes rather than complicates them. Understanding incentives also enhances negotiation and influence. When you know what is truly valued, you can craft proposals, ideas, or collaborations that are highly attractive, Influence is most effective when it aligns with intrinsic motivations rather than superficial desires. Powerful individuals respond to those who provide leverage, reduce risk, or increase the likelihood of achieving critical objectives. By tailoring your actions to meet these incentives, you become a partner in their success, naturally increasing your relevance and access. Practical steps include researching background, observing decision patterns, analyzing communications, and noting recurring priorities. Engage indirectly at first by offering support or insight that resonates with known objectives. Evaluate responses, adjust strategies, and refine approaches based on feedback. Over time, this method establishes a clear understanding of what drives the individual and how your contributions can be positioned to maximize value. This approach transforms connection efforts from random attempts into a precise, strategic process. Emotional intelligence is essential when studying incentives. Recognizing not just goals, but also the emotional and psychological drivers behind decisions enhances your ability to align effectively. Powerful individuals are influenced by vision, passion, and personal investment as much as practical outcomes. Demonstrating sensitivity to these dimensions ensures that your engagement resonates on multiple levels, increasing both receptivity and trust. Aligning with incentives is as much about understanding human priorities as it is about strategic alignment. Strategic alignment with incentives also involves patience. Understanding true drivers and building credibility takes time. Immediate results are rare. By consistently observing, analyzing, and responding with relevance, you gradually position yourself as a knowledgeable, reliable, and high-value contributor. The patience to invest in this process is rewarded by durable relationships, repeated opportunities, and influence that grows organically rather than being forced. Ultimately, studying incentives before approaching powerful people is about preparation, observation, and strategic contribution. It transforms interactions from random, potentially wasted efforts into purposeful, high-value engagement. By aligning your skills, insights, and presence with the priorities and motivations of those in positions of influence, you create a pathway for trust, collaboration, and access. This approach ensures that your involvement is relevant, your presence is respected, and your contributions are both recognized and leveraged effectively. By committing to this practice, you position yourself as someone who understands the stakes, anticipates needs, and delivers value in alignment with priorities. Powerful individuals naturally gravitate toward those who enhance outcomes, reduce friction, and contribute strategically. Studying incentives is not a superficial exercise. It is a disciplined, thoughtful, and high-impact approach that transforms every interaction into an opportunity for meaningful connection, influence, and long-term growth. Number 9. Position yourself as indispensable asset. In the world of influence, access is rarely granted to those who are replaceable. Powerful individuals value relationships that provide unique, consistent, and meaningful contributions. To stand out and secure lasting engagement, you must position yourself as an indispensable asset. Being indispensable is not about controlling people or situations. It is about creating value that others cannot easily replicate or substitute. When your presence becomes critical to achieving goals, solving problems, or generating opportunities, you naturally earn trust, respect, and access to powerful circles. Becoming indispensable begins with identifying the specific needs, pressures, or gaps where your skills, knowledge, or insight can make a tangible impact. Powerful people are constantly navigating challenges that are high stakes, complex, or unprecedented. Those who can anticipate these challenges and provide solutions that others cannot are recognized as vital contributors. The key is to understand what problems matter most, where your contribution is unique, and how your involvement can consistently create measurable outcomes. Reliability is central to indispensability. Delivering results consistently, on time and with precision builds a reputation that cannot be easily replaced. Powerful individuals trust those who demonstrate discipline, accountability, and follow through. When they know they can depend on you to perform without constant oversight, your role transcends convenience and becomes essential. Competence alone is insufficient. Sustained performance under pressure is what cements a position as an indispensable asset. To amplify value, focus on proactive contribution. Powerful people respond to those who do not merely wait to be asked, but anticipate needs and act in advance. Identifying potential problems, proposing solutions, and implementing improvements without prompting demonstrates foresight, initiative, and alignment with their objectives. This approach signals that you are invested in their success and that your presence consistently enhances outcomes rather than merely occupying space. Indispensable individuals add value before it is requested. Specialization is another dimension of indispensability. While general competence has merit, being highly skilled in areas that are rare, complex, or strategically significant amplifies your relevance. Powerful individuals gravitate toward those whose expertise fills a gap that others cannot cover. This specialization makes replacement difficult and increases your influence as your contribution becomes uniquely linked to achieving critical objectives. The more scarce and applicable your skills, the higher the perceived value you provide. Building trust is inseparable from becoming indispensable. Reliability, discretion, and alignment with priorities create confidence that your presence is both beneficial and secure. Powerful people are often cautious about whom they allow into their inner circles. Demonstrating that your judgment is sound, your actions are consistent, and your interests are aligned with theirs, fosters a sense of dependability. Trust transforms access from conditional to enduring, as those who see you as an essential contributor are less likely to exclude or replace you. Visibility and communication are critical, but subtlety is key. Being indispensable does not require constant self-promotion or public declaration. Rather, it involves demonstrating impact through action and measured communication. Highlight achievements contextually, ensure contributions are understood, and frame engagement in ways that reinforce your value without creating tension or envy. Influence grows when others recognize your role in outcomes, but it thrives when it appears earned rather than demanded. Adaptability strengthens indispensability. Powerful environments are dynamic, with shifting priorities and evolving challenges. The ability to respond effectively to changes, pivot strategies when necessary, and remain effective under varying conditions ensures that your contribution remains relevant. Those who can maintain high performance, regardless of contexts, become irreplaceable because their value transcends specific situations, timelines, or projects. Adaptable individuals are not just competent, they are essential across scenarios. Strategic alignment with objectives enhances the perception of indispensability. Every action, insight, or contribution should reinforce the goals, mission, or vision of the individual or organization you seek to support. Tangible alignment ensures that your presence directly advances outcomes that matter most. Indispensable individuals are recognized not only for skill, but for their ability to integrate seamlessly into achieving critical objectives, amplifying both efficiency and impact. Relationships are strengthened by consistency and reciprocity. Being indispensable is not a one-way exchange. Powerful individuals respect those who provide value while also respecting boundaries, contributing positively to team dynamics, and supporting shared priorities. Consistently offering meaningful support without expectation of immediate reward positions you as a reliable and essential contributor. Your role becomes ingrained in the operational fabric of their success, creating a durable and mutually beneficial connection. Observation and situational awareness further reinforce indispensability. Understanding the environment, recognizing emerging opportunities, and identifying potential obstacles allows you to act effectively before issues escalate. Anticipating needs, preparing contingencies, and providing strategic insights positions you as a proactive asset rather than a reactive participant. Powerful individuals value those who perceive patterns, navigate complexities, and solve problems before they become visible to others. Long-term indispensability is built through cumulative impact. Every interaction, contribution, and solution strengthens your reputation as a reliable and necessary presence. The compounding effect of repeated, meaningful engagement ensures that your influence grows naturally over time. Powerful people begin to recognize that your involvement is not optional but integral to achieving key objectives, making your presence increasingly difficult to replace or overlook. Practical application begins with clarity in your role and contribution. Identify where your skills intersect with critical needs and focus on delivering measurable results. Observe outcomes, refine approaches, and communicate impact strategically. Anticipate challenges, provide proactive solutions, and maintain consistency in execution. Align your engagement with priorities, respect dynamics, and balance visibility with humility. This comprehensive approach ensures that your value is recognized, reinforced, and increasingly essential. Indispensability also requires continuous improvement. Powerful environments evolve rapidly, and maintaining relevance demands growth, skill enhancement, and adaptability. Complacency diminishes value. By consistently developing expertise, expanding knowledge, and refining capabilities, you ensure that your contribution remains unmatched. Those who combine growth with reliability create a perception of irreplaceable competence that extends influence and access over time. The mindset behind this principle is service-oriented, disciplined, and strategic. Positioning yourself as indispensable is not about ego or control. It is about consistently enhancing outcomes, reducing friction, and providing value that cannot easily be substituted. Powerful individuals respond naturally to those whose presence is constructive, reliable, and aligned with their goals. Indispensability is earned through sustained effort, strategic alignment, and the consistent delivery of results that matter. Ultimately, positioning yourself as an indispensable asset transforms relationships, influence, and access. It ensures that your presence is valued, your contributions are recognized, and your role becomes critical to achieving meaningful objectives. By combining specialized skills, consistent performance, strategic alignment, and proactive contribution, you create a dynamic where your involvement is essential. Those who master this approach move beyond fleeting interactions, securing lasting influence, trust, and opportunity in environments where power, impact, and recognition converge. Number 10. Invest long-term in influential networks. True access and influence are not built overnight. Powerful people operate within circles that are cultivated over years, even decades. Attempting to penetrate these networks through shortcuts, fleeting interactions, or transactional approaches rarely succeeds. The most effective strategy is to invest long-term, building relationships, credibility, and value gradually. By committing to sustained engagement within influential networks, you create a foundation of trust, visibility, and alignment that positions you for opportunities that cannot be achieved through luck or urgency alone. Long-term investment begins with patience. Influence grows slowly, and every interaction must be approached with foresight. Quick wins or immediate access are tempting, but relationships built without depth are fragile and often short-lived. Powerful individuals value those who demonstrate commitment over time. People who show up consistently, contribute meaningfully, and align with the culture and priorities of the network. Patience communicates maturity, discipline, and strategic thinking, all qualities that attract respect and enduring engagement. Building credibility is central to network investment. Influence is earned when others recognize your competence, integrity, and reliability. Each interaction is an opportunity to reinforce these qualities. By consistently providing insight, contributing to shared goals, and demonstrating professionalism, you position yourself as a person whose presence adds measurable value. Credibility is the currency of influential networks, and sustained investment allows it to compound naturally, creating recognition and trust that cannot be bought or forced. Understanding the dynamics of the network is essential. Influential circles operate with unspoken rules, hierarchies, and norms that shape behavior and decision-making. Observing these patterns, learning the priorities of key members, and identifying how influence flows allows you to engage effectively. Strategic participation, aligned with the network's values and objectives, ensures that your presence is noticed positively. Missteps in etiquette, timing, or relevance can hinder progress, making careful study and adaptation a critical part of long-term investment. Value creation is the cornerstone of sustainable relationships within influential networks. People are drawn to those who enhance their objectives, reduce friction, or open doors to opportunities they cannot achieve alone. By offering insight, expertise, or resources that align with the network's priorities, you become a contributor rather than a passive participant. Over time, repeated demonstrations of value build a reputation of indispensability, positioning you as someone whose presence is sought after and respected. Consistency is non-negotiable. Engaging sporadically, only when you need something, erodes credibility and trust. Powerful networks reward those who are consistently present, reliable, and thoughtful in their contributions. Regular engagement through meaningful conversations, collaboration, and support establishes familiarity and strengthens bonds. Long-term investment is reinforced by a pattern of actions that demonstrate reliability, alignment, and attentiveness, ensuring your influence grows steadily rather than fleetingly. Patience and timing play a critical role in network cultivation. Powerful people are often preoccupied with high-stakes priorities and complex decisions. Understanding when to engage, when to contribute, and when to observe maximizes impact. Strategic timing signals awareness, tact, and respect for their focus and resources. By pacing interactions appropriately, you avoid being intrusive while maintaining visibility and relevance, a balance that is vital for long-term influence. Reciprocity strengthens network relationships. Influential circles operate on mutual benefit, not unilateral gain. By consistently contributing to the success of others, whether through insight, introductions, support, or collaboration, you reinforce your value and deepen connections. Strategic reciprocity is not transactional. It is a mindset of enhancing collective objectives while demonstrating reliability and competence. People naturally gravitate toward those who improve their position without imposing, creating durable bonds and influence. Observation and adaptability are essential. Networks evolve, priorities shift, and new opportunities emerge continuously. Remaining attuned to these changes allows you to adjust your engagement strategy, align your contributions, and maintain relevance. Those who adapt proactively, anticipate shifts, and respond effectively demonstrate both strategic thinking and situational awareness, qualities that elevate their standing within influential circles over time. Long-term investment thrives on flexibility and intelligence, ensuring that your presence remains valued even as the network changes. Mentorship and collaboration amplify influence within networks. Building relationships with individuals who are already respected or influential can create cascading effects, enhancing your credibility and visibility. Providing thoughtful collaboration or seeking guidance positions you as both humble and strategic. These relationships often act as bridges, connecting you to additional layers of influence and opportunity. Long-term investment means nurturing these relationships continuously, reinforcing trust and demonstrating your reliability and competence. Strategic contribution requires understanding the needs and objectives of the network. Powerful individuals respond to those who provide solutions, insights, and resources that advance critical goals. By aligning your actions with the network's priorities, you ensure that engagement is relevant, appreciated, and impactful. Contributions should be measurable, observable, and meaningful, reinforcing your value and creating a perception of indispensability over time. Thoughtful alignment with incentives ensures your presence is consistently recognized and respected. Investing long-term also involves personal growth and self-discipline. Networks reward individuals who continuously develop skills, expand knowledge, and maintain high standards of performance and professionalism. By investing in yourself alongside the network, you increase your ability to contribute meaningfully, stay relevant, and adapt to new challenges. Those who combine personal excellence with strategic engagement are often seen as reliable pillars within influential circles, earning respect and trust naturally. Documentation and reflection reinforce long-term strategy. Tracking interactions, noting outcomes, and reflecting on how to enhance engagement ensures that your efforts remain purposeful. Strategic reflection allows you to refine your approach, identify gaps in influence, and adjust contributions to maximize impact. Long-term investment requires discipline in both action and assessment, as sustained, thoughtful effort is the difference between transient visibility and lasting influence. Ultimately, investing in influential networks is a marathon, not a sprint. It requires patience, strategic observation, consistent value creation, adaptability, and relationship management. Those who commit to long-term engagement develop credibility, trust, and recognition that open doors to opportunities inaccessible through short-term efforts. Influence emerges naturally as others perceive your reliability, foresight, and alignment with shared objectives. By embedding yourself thoughtfully, contributing meaningfully, and sustaining engagement over time, you become a recognized and respected presence within powerful circles. Long-term investment ensures that your relationships are resilient, your access is durable, and your influence grows steadily. It transforms initial introductions into meaningful connections, fleeting interactions into lasting partnerships, and potential opportunities into tangible outcomes. Strategic, patient, and consistent investment in influential networks is the pathway to enduring influence, trust, and success.